lesson of C++ programming. Now, in order to start our course, go ahead and click Ctrl-Alt-Tab on your Linux system. For those of you who have installed Ubuntu 19.04 or any Ubuntu will be good, or Linux Mint, any other distribution except for those which are based on Arch Linux, because those are different when it comes to command and terminal, or when it comes to software installation. So now in Ubuntu we'll be writing touch intro with.cpp. Now intro with can be anything. You can name it as you like, because it's a file name. What you need to do is have .cpp extension after your file, because .cpp extension is used by C++ language only. Okay, now as you press enter, you'll see in our home directory we'll have a file called intro-with.cpp. In order to make it on the desktop, because that comes in very handy, you need to move to desktop. Go ahead and type cd, means change directory to desktop. Once you've done that, now you're in desktop. You can see here it writes /desktop. Now again do the same process, touch a.cpp. As I said, name can be anything. This time I'm using a, so use a.cpp. Once you've done that, go ahead and double click on the file will open. Now most of you will not have this theme. In order to enable this theme, you need to go to preferences of your text editor. Go ahead and check display grid pattern, line number, highlight current line and matching brackets. In fonts and colors, you can select any font and color you like. In plugins, you can check whatever you want to install. So here, now what we want to do in this is, first we will include a file that is called IOStream. That means input output stream. We'll be using this file because the first program that we are going to make is of Hello World. So Hello World, actually what program does is you code something, you teach computer what to do, and computer says hello back to you. You give it instructions, it will give you back a hello. Now giving back hello is a process of an output. So you need a file that can control and that can handle outputs. So you need input output stream. Now using namespace as standard, we will be using our namespaces as standard. Now after writing this piece of code, actually I really suggest that you cram this piece, and in our next lectures we'll understand what these are. Now each C++ program has its own one and only main function. Now you create long codes, but all that code is utilized in your main function. You instantiate your objects, your structures. Now probably most of you who are new to this coding will not understand, so go ahead and type integer means int main braces cout. Now cout means we want to output something, and put two less than symbols, that is stream insertion operator. If I go into technical terms, now hello world, and statement terminator. Now in C++, every single statement that you write, you need to have this colon in front. Unless you have this, if you don't put this colon, the compiler will give an error, and this will think that I'm trying to execute multiple statements at a time. So it's a bit complex. So each and every statement should have this statement terminator at its front. Now cout is what we use for doing an output. Now this you can imagine as, if anybody watched Dragon Ball Z, it really looks a similar pattern, like cout is trying to do a Kamehameha or something. That Kamehameha contain hello world, that will be output on the screen. Now return 0, don't bang your head, just consider it that we are returning a 0 to our operating system so that it understands that now the program has executed successfully. Now it says, I will explain it to you now. We are trying to include a file that will be obviously at the start of the program, so this statement has to be placed on the start of the program. So this is here, include IOStream. Then we'll be using namespaces as standard, that will be used by cout actually. Then we'll go ahead and make our int main, that is our main function. Now in this function we'll be using a function called cout. Okay, cout is used to do output on the console. Now C for console and out for output, so we are doing an output process on our console, which will be terminal, a hello world. And then if this statement, cout statement, which is on number 5, is executed successfully, our program will return 0 to the operating system. So this is the last statement of our program, so our operating system automatically understands that this program has terminated successfully. Now go ahead and minimize it. And G++ is a command to compile our programs that are written. Now a.cpp, which will be the name of our file. Press enter and it will create a file a.out. I don't know what's wrong with this, it's not showing any preview, but anyhow a.out is the default file name that is output on the screen. In order to run that, go ahead and write ./a.out, that is the name of this file, and press enter, and you can see it's written hello world in front. So this is it for the first video. Now we've mostly covered everything. I'm going to delete it. Now as I told you, we'll be doing it in Eclipse Integrated Development Environment, IDE. So let's go ahead and run that. Installation of Eclipse is also on my channel. I'll share the description. I'll share in the description box. Where did I install it? Yeah, here. Eclipse, CPP, Eclipse, Eclipse. So it's going to take a bit time to start up. Okay, so this is your workspace. I suggest you keep it as default and launch. If you do not want to see this message over and over again, check this box. Now launch. Okay, now you can see the Eclipse is opened. Why is it taking such a long time? Okay, so I'm going to close the welcome page. If you want to see something, from the company, there are tutorials. You can import an existing project, you can review its configuration and create a new C++ project, but I'll not be doing it from here because, so now, file, new, I want to create a C++ project, so I'm going to enter here. Now, where is the project? Interesting. C++ managed build. Click next. Now we're using Linux, so Linux, GCC. The project name will be, again, intro. Now no need to give any CPP in the front because Eclipse understands it. You can create a hello world project or empty project, but doesn't matter a lot. So now Go ahead and finish. So in few simple steps, your project will be created. It may take some time to load its libraries. As soon as it does, these bugs will go away, because right now IOStream, you see here, until IOStream wasn't read in by Eclipse, it didn't know what std and cout was, which is actually explained very well in IOStream in programming language, obviously to the computer. So unless Eclipse read that, until it read that, it was giving the errors. Now go ahead and examine this program. Again, it's including IOStream in it. It's using namespaces as standard, and it's a statement, so they're using statement terminator, and this is our main function. In main function, it's trying to output a hello world. And remember, whenever you want to output something on the screen that is string, anything written in a form of characters like letters A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, anything you want to write, you write it in double quotes like these. Unless you want to write digits or characters, you will not be using this. ENDL, actually, you'll best understand once I run this program. So press this button. Actually, I have to build the process first. So now press this hammer and it will tell you build finish, 0 errors, 0 warnings. Now press this button, give it configurations, this drop down, run configurations, C++ application, search project, intro, use auto build, apply, run, hello world. What ENDL does, if I remove it, put a statement terminator and put ENDL in between, now I suggest you guys do the same and see what happens. Save and launch. Hello world. So what ENDL does is breaks the line. It broke hello and world into two different categories. It takes our cursor towards the next line. Now you can do this while you are in the quotes, hello, and press \n. \n does the same work, but it's a character, not a function. ENDL, on the other hand, is a function. Here, it's a hello world. So that's all for today's video. Yeah, one thing I remembered, if you want that programming thrill, you can install that theme from here, Eclipse Marketplace. The one thing I love about programming, once you do it, you just want it all black. Your IDE, your editor, anything. So write dark theme, and install this one, darkest theme with dev style. Install it. Icon designer, confirm, I accept, finish. It's installing software, it's 49%. Right after the software is installed, you can see a pop-up window will appear saying that would you like to restart Eclipse to apply the changes, and I will say restart now in order to commit the changes. Now this is the new theme. It's just a preview. You can go ahead and next. What's your preferences? Fresh light theme, darkest dark theme, Eclipse classic theme, which used to be Eclipse older version, used to have this theme, I think, as the name says, but we want to go with darkest dark theme to enjoy the programming experience. Now what does it say here? Every developer is an artist. So once this theme is installed, it's going to give you all these codes. Now you can see all the Eclipse is turned black. Now you can go ahead and start working in this. This is your new theme. I said no. So this is all for today's video. Go ahead and cram that program, and tomorrow we'll learn how to do inputs. Till then, keep smiling, stay smiling, seek smiles, and spread smiles.